Hello everyone to my channel, The Secret of Secrets. Today I'm feeling particularly inspired and motivated to make this video, and I want to meditate upon the chapter 21 of Ribhu Gita, titled Topic of the Definition of Brahman, that is, contemplation of Brahman self. So, a little subtext before we start. I've been reading Ribhu Gita a lot lately, and one of the characteristic things about this book is that one, it is not like any other book, and second, that it has the power to completely transform oneself just by the act of reading it, and not just simple act of transformation, but a total upheaval and a new direction is given to one's life. And my life itself has been going through an immense phase of change, accompanied by turmoil, but then getting to attain this sense of peace. Okay, let's get into this chapter. I will put the text on the screen for everyone to read and understand with me. It it starts with, again and again I say unto you the highest truth. Anything apart from the self is unreal indeed. There is no word for unreality. Reality being ever existent, there is no word for it. I shall declare the definition of the self for one eager for, for Brahma-abhyasa, that is, the practice of Brahman. I shall speak of it immediately with an auspicious beginning. So this Rishi here does not want to waste any time and want to get to the core meaning of the word Brahman. He says, all is Brahman. I, indeed, am only consciousness. There is nothing else. I, indeed, am the Supreme Brahman. I am also the consciousness self. So here, the awareness of the self, or the consciousness of the self, is equated to Brahman. To know oneself is to know Brahman. He says again, thought and other things never exist. All is of the nature of the Supreme Brahman, which, full of consciousness, nothing truly exists at all. All is of the nature of Supreme Brahman, which is reality, the deepest truth, the truest true thing in this world is Brahman only. This duality does not exist at all at any time. All is of the nature of the Supreme Brahman, which is the One. I am that non dual Supreme Brahman. Be of this steadfast contemplation always. Here, the Rishi gives a simple instruction. One need not do anything other than the simple contemplation of I am Brahman only, and that is enough to take one to the supreme abode, to the supreme realization. Nothing else is required. If practiced continuously, the conviction that I am Brahman will itself be the meditation and absorption of the undivided Absolute. It will indeed be the knowledge of the Supreme Brahman. It will itself be the Supreme Brahman. As one meditates on this, that one is the Supreme Brahman, the meditation which will lead to absorption will itself become the Supreme Brahman. All is ever of the nature of the Self. The changeless Self, indeed, is of the nature of Brahman. Brahman is, indeed, of the nature of the exalted Self. One who has this identity firmly established for himself will instantly be liberated from the bondage of worldly existence. The certitude that all is Brahman immediately confers liberation. This is truly a revolutionary thing to say. That all one requires is the certainty that one is Brahman to liberate oneself from worldly bondage. Brahman is the Savikalp Samadhi. Brahman is the Nirvikalp Samadhi. The original Samadhi is truly this. Brahman indeed is certainly the void. Hence, it is said to be impossible to meditate on. If one still hasn't attained this higher knowledge, one would be puzzled by this inherent contradiction that exists in the text. On one hand, the Rishi says that meditation of Brahman will in itself lead to the supreme realization and become the Brahman itself. And in another place, it says that meditation on it is impossible. But this contradiction only exists in the mind. For in reality, there is no contradiction, for there is no two things, there is only one thing. Forgetting again, renouncing again, leave of all activities with the attitude that I am established as the void. Forgetting also that I exist. Forget also that I am manifest. This ends chapter 21. Each chapter of this book is enough to instigate the deepest realization that one can have, to go to force one to go into the absolute depths of one's being. If one reads this again and again and meditates on it continuously, one is able to reach deep state of meditation and attain the deepest bliss, peace, serenity that one can possibly do. I will repeat the last verse again because it is just so important. Forgetting again, renouncing again, leave off all activities with the attitude that I am established as the void. Forgetting also that I exist, forget also that I am manifest. One cannot reach there unless one vanishes, unless that which one has associated himself with, thoughts, concepts, ideas, past, future, all that is that one has established oneself to be, or that which one has identified to be, goes away, melts away, vanishes. One cannot reach that supreme realization. Through this meditation, learn to forget, learn to disappear. Thank you.